Hello folks, Lana here, coming at you with another video on a rainy day. And I thought it was so fitting because I'm continuing to read The Dance of Fear book by Harriet Lerner. And she talks about the quote that I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with, when it rains, it pours. And typically, at least when I think of it, it's like when one thing goes wrong, it's like everything is going wrong. And I just always thought of it as like, bad things come in threes, like all of those old adages of, I don't know, like when shit, and I'll just add another one, when shit hits the fan, it's just like all over the goddamn place. And I don't know, I think I never thought too critically about those sayings, more just like when bad things happen, I think maybe it's back to that, like it kind of colors your mind and your perspective, and it feels like everything is going wrong. But she talks about it in the sense of it's actually the universe kind of like challenging you to double down on your commitment to whatever path you're on. It's kind of like the universe is testing you and saying, are you sure you really want this? Are you sure you want it that badly? Well, prove it. I'm gonna send you a bunch of tests, and you're just gonna have to figure it out and get through it. And she talks about it in the context of change and making change in your life. And she shares a personal story where her father gifts her a special print that she brings home to get framed. And this was sort of a new, vulnerable step in their relationship. They didn't tend to interact a lot in the future, or in the past, and her mother was always the one that was sort of the art curator. So it was kind of really special to ask him to gift her a print and to just like reach out to him in that way and extend the olive branch. And she talks about how as he's giving her the print to take home, he's really emphasizing that she takes good care of it, that she, frames it as soon as possible, doesn't get any finger smudges on it, and all that stuff. And so she's handling it with care. She gets it home, and she puts it in an attic that is typically her own workspace, and no one else goes in there, and I guess stacks some like books on it or something to like flatten it out while she's finding the time to get it framed. And she leaves it for a bit, goes back, finds it, and it's destroyed. Not just completely destroyed, but there's like, what happened was her cat peed on it. One of her children had like let the door open and the cat wandered in and peed on it. And so it was like stained and like wrinkled and whatever. And and I can't remember what else happens, but like other bad things challenging things happen. But it basically, she's kind of trying to say like, especially if you're implementing change in your life, or in a family dynamic, there's going to be reactions to that. So people could sort of make their own counter move and resist the change you're trying to make, or push up against the boundary you're trying to enforce. Or in a moment of vulnerability, you're trying to create a moment of vulnerable connection. A human moment can happen and can kind of test that, the strength of that relationship and the strength of your resolve, because she could have easily then it became the question for her in that scenario of, do I tell my dad? Do I break his heart? Is he going to be upset? Is he going to never want to interact with me in that way? And she was brave, did the thing that felt scary, and he was of course disappointed, but it wasn't like the end of the world. Now everyone's situation would be different, but I don't know. I just really like that way of looking at it, because often, when it rains, it pours. It's sort of a shallow view of just, well, bad things are happening, or like everything is bad, and everything is going wrong. Everything that could be going wrong is going wrong. And I guess it kind of feels just like, not acceptance, but like this is just what's happening. And there's a way to, again, invite the fear, invite the anxiety, and invite the challenge and say, oh, this is life testing me. This is life testing my strength and my resolve on this path. I'm not going to let it stop me. I don't know. It's just a very simple way of looking at it, but maybe it's a perspective shift that can help you next time you find yourself having one of those days, one of those weeks, or one of those seasons of life where it feels like you are being tested. Like a lot of things are going wrong, not the way you planned, or you're coming up against challenge. And yeah, maybe it's for a reason. Maybe you are trying to implement some kind of change or boundary. And the universe, people take a moment to adjust. We need to adjust to those changes. So yeah, give yourself grace and yeah, rise to the occasion, rise to the challenge.